Hey travelers, Mag and I here on day 88 of our trip around the United States. Man, what an amazing day that was yesterday. If you hadn't had a chance to check it out yet, you should just stop right here, go back and check out day 87. We were along the shore of Lake Superior all day yesterday, and it was an amazing day. It is going to be darn near impossible to top that with our remaining 2 days in Minnesota. Albeit, it's at least dry today. The skies are blue, and that I'm going to take as a blessing. Today we have 320 miles to cover as we work our way west along the northern edge of the state. We're going to be hugging the Canadian border pretty much all day long as we progress through our route. And I think this is really where the land of 10,000 lakes comes into play, because I would be willing to bet that over half of those lakes are located in the northern part of Minnesota, because it is lakes to the left and lakes to the right everywhere we look on the map and everywhere we look off the side of the road. We really have two main goals for today. First, we're going to start off with our morning hike to wear down her energy, which seems to be working very well for us. Just down the road from here at Rookie Pond is Kawishiwi Falls. We're going to make our way over there and hike about a mile around to go see the waterfalls and then get back on the road again. From there, our only other major goal for the day is Alvin's phone line, Minnesota's oldest geocache, and that is an absolute must. Other than that, I expect it to be a lot of country miles. We're going to be seeing a lot of forest land and a lot of lakes all along this drive. Looking forward to finishing off Minnesota over the next 2 days and hoping to see a lot of scenic sights along the way. So come along with us and let's see what the rest of the state has in store. Our very first find of the day. It should be right over here. Let's go see. When it's very first thing in the morning, my geocaching brain is not always firing on all cylinders, so it's always nice to have something that's just a little bit easier to locate. And there we have it. And we have a Munzie too. Let's see if perhaps we can make one more find before we start our morning walk out to the falls. Oh, these sticks look a little bit suspicious, don't they? All right, 2 for 2, not too bad of a way to start the day. And that double container keeping the log dry. Kawishiwi Falls is located about 5 miles outside of Ely off the Fernburg Road. The name Kawishiwi in the native language means river full of beaver or muskrat houses. This wooded and winding trail stretches for a 1.5 mile round trip. The path is relatively easy and can be extended even further to include the portage trail between the Garden and Fall Lakes. The lower lying areas that can get muddy all have these nice boardwalks to help keep your paws from getting too wet. Over thousands of years, Native Americans, explorers, and voyagers of the fur trade paddled their canoes on the Kawishiwi River and portaged around the 70-foot Kawishiwi Falls. In the 1800s, loggers floated millions of boards of lumber from waters inside the Boundary Water canoe area down the falls to the nearby mill town of Winton. Then in the 1920s, Minnesota Power and Light saw potential in the power of the river and made plans for a dam and hydro station. All told, these falls have a rich history that stretches back hundreds of years through American history and Native American history. A fantastic place to get to walk with Aichan this morning. An unusual pile of sticks. That always lights up my geosenses. And there we have it. Trust those geosenses and you shall be rewarded. A lot of pennies in there. Alvin's phone line, the oldest geocache in the state of Minnesota, was placed back in November of the year 2000. It is a nice walk down an old phone line trail on private property. Apparently, during certain times of the year, the trail can be wet, muddy, and mucky. We were certainly glad that was not the case today, though. It was smooth sailing all the way from beginning to end. And here I was worried this was going to be a bushwhack all the way here based on the satellite imagery, but it turns out we had a beautiful trail straight to it and a great geocache find right at the end. Another state's oldest geocache, Minnesota in the bag. Yeah, Aichan, we did it. Teamwork right there. I've actually never encountered an ammo can like this before. Normally they have the locking mechanism on the side. This one's designed so that it has it on the front and rotates this way. I don't know why we have this in here. Trackables? Perhaps. Swag. Celebrating our find in style. Yeah, happy about this one, aren't you, Ai-chan? We certainly saw our fair share of the woods today. Quite a bit of it, in fact. But these woods in particular had a really scenic feel to them, and one of the few places that we were getting a lot of fall colors today. And right in the middle of this scenic clearing, we were able to find the prize we sought yet again. The largest city we had an opportunity to visit today was International Falls, the county seat of Geocache County. With a population of around 6,000, International Falls is located on the Rainy River directly across from Fort Frances in Ontario, Canada. It's also home of the largest Smokey Bear statue of its kind, standing at 26 feet tall. And also one of the coldest places in the country, dubbing itself the icebox of the nation. I'm just glad to have the opportunity to visit in September rather than a month like December. Because the temperatures today were just right and we were able to enjoy the view over into Canada without icy breezes pulling in off the lake. Good deal. Canada, oh Canada, so close, yet so far away. From there, it was a long way to reach the Red Lake Nation, home of the Ojibwe people. Situated on the bank of the lower Red Lake, about as far as you can get into the Red Lake Nation, is the Red Lake Confluence Cache, the only active geocache in DeLorme page 83. Having made the journey all the way out here for this one geocache, I was very excited to be able to make this find. The journey itself turned into quite the reward though, as we saw many wild animals on the way out. This group was moving pretty fast to get out of the way, but not too fast for us to grab a quick shot of them. Then, just a mile down the road, we encountered a pair of deer running in a field. And they were really moving too. But the fastest of the animals we saw were the eagles. They can soar at incredible speeds. These bald eagles could move up to 75 to nearly 100 miles per hour if they really wanted to. This time, however, they wanted to stick nearby because I'd interrupted their meal. And by the time we were making our way back out of the reservation, the sun was already setting in the sky. Alrighty, that brings an end to another day geocaching here in Minnesota, and our second to last day, which means that we will be finishing up the state tomorrow. We're here on the banks of the Upper Red Lake. We're only about an hour outside of Baudette right now, which is where we're going to finish our day, but once again, we won't be making it with sunlight. Today was kind of an interesting day. It was really just a country drive, which is what I expected. But the fall colors didn't really seem to reach here. We've had mostly greens, slight yellows, but while we had deep reds and oranges down south, the trees are pretty much just all green up here still. I don't know if they got the memo or not. Not only that, but when we're geocaching in a county or a page, we usually like to get at least 2 or 3 geocaches within that county or the page. That's the norm for us. We did that this morning in Eli, and we were able to do that in those beginning pages there. But as soon as we crossed out of there and we started pushing west, the day really became one and dones, which means that we got 1 geocache in the page and then we had to move on to the next. Sometimes that was because there was not other geocaches in the area that had a good history. Sometimes it was because there was not other geocaches in the area. There were several pages out here where there was only 1 geocaching option in the page, and we were just lucky enough to get it. I'm hoping tomorrow we'll have a little bit more for us to see, but either way, we're going to enjoy our last day in Minnesota, and we're going to enjoy getting into North Dakota as well. Looking forward to some more excitement on the road, and I hope you are as well. Like this video, subscribe to stay tuned for daily updates, and we'll see you out on the trails.